While a good start, the default Rigify setup isn't perfect. Take for example the hand controls. While the metarig will generate the basics, like curling the fingers, only 2/3 of each finger will curl. If say you want to make a fist, then you still have to manually select the topmost control of each finger and rotate it. At the same time, the only palm control largely just works on one side of the hand, while each finger can only be moved or rotated at the knuckle. By making a couple of modifications, we can easily add or change how the animation controls work. So now, when we select and scale the curl controls, the whole finger curls up at once, rather than just the ends of each finger. You do still have individual joint control, so fine adjustments are still possible. However, more important is the fact we now have a palm control for each finger, instead of a single squash control that only works on one side. So it's now possible to finely adjust every part of the hand to any shape or form required. Let's have a look to see how it's done. Here's the full default human Rigify metarig that I'll be modifying, along with the generated control rig that has the deformed bones displayed in order to show the changes that are being made. I'll be jumping back and forth between the two, hiding and unhiding each one in order to more clearly show what is happening and why. Normally, you just make most of the changes in one go and then generate the rig. Taking a closer look at the metarig hand, and we can see that all the bones we need are already present. This just means that it is the configuration of the metarig that needs to be changed, and this directly relates to the assigned Rigify types. These are assigned and accessed in pose mode on the metarig armature. I've covered this in previous videos, but as a quick recap, Rigify uses a number of defined types to tell the system what sort of control rig to create when you press the Generate Rig button. On quickly looking at the generated rig, you can see the side control that squishes the palm and some of the fingers. On swapping back to the metarig and entering pose mode, if we just delete the assigned Rigify type on the palm.01 bone and regenerate the rig, you can see that the animation control for the palm is now gone. That's the first step done. Now we just need to apply the finger curl control up to the palm. On the metarig, and once again in pose mode, if we select the first index finger bone, you can see the Rigify type that defines the finger controls. So we want to add that limb super finger type up to the palm bone. With the palm bone selected, click on the rig type, and from the list, select the limbs super finger Rigify type. We also need to add it to the same bone collection so that we get animation controls in the generated rig. And finally, remove the Rigify type from the finger bone. If we quickly regenerate the rig to test if it's all working, and we get an error. The Rigify type is looking for a bone chain but didn't find one. Yet looking at the metarig, it all appears to be a chain of bones. With the metarig selected, drop into edit mode. In this case, it's important that it is in edit mode. Selecting a finger bone and moving it around, you can see it's not actually connected to the palm bone. There's a parent-child relationship between the two, but unlike the other finger bones, they aren't directly connected together. As such, there isn't a bone chain for the Rigify type to work with. Luckily, the solution is easy. Select the top index finger bone, and on the bone properties, under relations, tick the connected checkbox. Now, If we quickly regenerate the rig again, it all works. We have an individual control for that palm bone, and the finger curl control bends the whole finger. All that's left to do now is repeat the same process on every other finger. You can either do one finger fully at a time or make the changes more in bulk. For the most part, it's quicker making the changes more as a group, since you don't need to constantly switch between pose and edit mode. Just make all the changes required in pose mode on each finger, and then switch to edit mode to connect each bone chain up. Unlike the first finger we changed, the rest of the palm bones don't have an existing Rigify type, so there's nothing to delete on those. Once all done, regenerate the rig, and you now have full finger curls and total control over every bone in the hand. Needless to say, the whole same process is then repeated for the other hand. Thanks to everyone that has hit like, watched my videos and or subscribe. Be sure to check back for more handy tips. Cheers.